Hello and welcome to Edison TV. Today I'm speaking to Keith Smith, Chief Operating Officer and one of the founders of IntelliAM AI PLC. IntelliAM applies AI and machine learning to manufacturing machinery in order to optimize the performance, improve efficiency and improve reliability. Keith, many thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
And can you start by introducing the business? For investors who are new to the company, what are the specific problems that your technology and solutions solve?
Yeah, absolutely. So IntelliAM is an AI-driven software company. We're focused heavily on manufacturing and supporting manufacturing companies. And so you can imagine a manufacturing factory, huge amount of machines, and these machines fail quite regularly. What IntelliAM AI does is take billions of data points from their machines. We analyze it using self-learning algorithms, and we actually tell our customers when their machines are going to fail. So we actually predict the failure. That allows them to carry out work to prevent that failure actually happening, which means obviously they can run longer and they can produce more products. And the other way we use that data is to look at their operational efficiencies and look at how we can optimize that as well. So you can imagine if you've got a machine that runs lots of different products and raw materials from lots of different suppliers, if you can understand exactly which settings are the best settings for them different things, you can make more products. So we can reduce breakdowns, we can help them make more products, and we can also help them understand where their energy usage is as well. So huge value for our customers there.
And the cost of failure can be enormous. Can you just discuss a little bit, why it's so important to maintain reliability and efficiency?
Yeah. So it's like an iceberg effect. So the tip of the iceberg, the bit you can see is the downtime cost. That's quite easy to evaluate, So if a factory stops because of a breakdown, they're still paying their people, they're still paying the energy of when that factory stops, but they can't make the products that they can sell. So it's huge costs. Underneath, the bit that you can't see is obviously reputational impact. We have customers that are struggling to supply their suppliers. That calls into question, their supplier relationships. Also, when you break down, if you break down in the middle of the night, if you haven't got the right spares, if you have to get skills from another country, like Germany was one example that we had. So before we were predicting failures, one of our customers had a breakdown that took them a week to fix because they didn't have the right spares and they didn't have the right engineers. So by being able to predict, they can plan them spares to be on site, they can plan the right people, and then they can do that whilst it's not in a downtime. So it's a huge problem for manufacturing.
And some of those statistics are quite eye-opening. The ROI of deploying your service, as we've seen in recent interviews with yourselves. You've got a very strong position within UK FMCG market. You started to expand into the US. Can you discuss how much that enlarges your addressable market and how that's going?
Yeah. So, okay, if we compare the US to the UK intense manufacturing facilities, the US has around 4 to 5 times opportunity to that of the UK. Now, obviously, that's probably, it is driven a lot by population, but the US factories are very, they're machine intense. So we have a situation where over in the US, we've got 4 to 5 times more opportunity because more factories, more machines, which means more data points, more sensors, and more opportunity to support them. Also in the US, there's a lot more of the multi-factory operators. So, over in the UK, you have companies like Playdisk, Mars, PepsiCo. They have a number of sites. In the US, that's more, that's even more so. And actually, that's where we've got into the US so far. has been through that multi-site engagement. So delivering great results in the UK and then taking that product over to the US to prove ourselves over there as well. So I guess more focus on that for us, as well as developing the right partnerships to be able to enter and increase that market as well.
And you've got a very close partnership with SKF, one of the world's largest manufacturers of bearings and lubrication systems. Can you discuss how that works between the two businesses?
Yeah, we're very proud of that relationship, and it's been a long relationship. So, we've worked with SKF now for 6-7 years. In 2025, we signed a co-development agreement, and what that means is we are jointly producing an intelligent lubrication system. And essentially what we're doing is injecting IntelliAM AI intelligence into SKF hardware. Now, what that means to the customer is that we are continually monitoring the health of an asset. And, well, not just the health of the asset, but the environment that it's in, which is key. This is what's not been done before. Taking in the environmental situation, understanding exactly what lubricant needs to be delivered to each individual point. It means that obviously lubricant is like the lifeblood of a machine. So, it keeps them going for longer. It means they don't have to replace them. So capital wise, our customers gain. It means they don't break down as much. So again, revenue wise and being able to manufacture more goods. Again, is another win on that. But SKF have we've tied into them really closely on this, because it's a great piece of information that they've said, which is 20% of the world's energy is just used overcoming friction, which is pretty mind-blowing, I think, when I first heard it. And so we want to help, in the fight to reduce that, because that's just a wasted energy that's not doing the planet any good. So we're really passionate about this partnership. I think we can really have an impact on, again, our customers' productivity, their energy usage, but also the planet as a whole in terms of reducing energy consumption.
And looking back over the course of 2025, it's been a big year for IntelliAM. Can you discuss the key highlights of the last year?
Yeah, it's been a big year. It's been a very busy one. So I guess starting from a commercial point of view, we've had really great results extending the food and beverage market, getting lots more factories on board. I would say the multi-site situation I was talking about, we've had a number of customers. Hover sticks out as one, where they've done a smaller proof of value and then realised the return on investment within 6 months, and then rolled out even further to other sites. So that's been great. We've moved into other verticals. Building industry has been a big one for us, likes of Marshalls, Knauf, H&H, Tarmac. They're starting to, and it's very much similar to the FMCG processes as well. So that's great. And obviously, as we've just said, going into the US market with our first factories has been big for us. From a product point of view, we've been really busy in the last year, getting things foundationally right for super scaling, really. So we've done a lot of work on our manufacturing data environment that's based on what's called a unified namespace. Now, essentially, to us and to customers and to investors, what that actually means is IntelliAM can become the single source of truth for all of our customers' manufacturing data. It removes the silo and the barriers between all of the data from these different data points. And what that enables us to do is onboard customers quicker and scale quicker as well. And it also allows us to interact. If a customer's already got a system that uses a UNS protocol within their technology stacks, it allows us to feed into it or take away from it really simply, rather than having to spend weeks of a engineer's time setting all this up. This is kind of minutes rather than weeks. So Product-wise, it's been great. We've had lots of case studies that we've announced this last year. The likes of the ADM's case study, where we reduced unplanned downtime by 14%. The Muller case study, where we've been predicting failure on their main fillers over 35 lines, has been outstanding. So we reduced mean time between failure by 215%. So huge gains there. In terms of partnerships, we've already talked about SKF, which has been super focused for us. We've also got a partnership with CTC, that's a manufacturer in America. We've been bringing in new products of theirs so we can get more data into the system. But it also allows us a channel partnership through them into their sort of North and South America as well. You know, they've got global contacts as well. So that's been really key for us. And then in terms of sort of us corporate-wise, we've done a lot of work in the last year, setting ourselves up operationally for scalability. We took a number of key roles on, especially in terms of product, operations and sales as well. So I think we're building a team for scalability in the future. And then I guess the last thing is we've strengthened our board with key governance and more financial experience. So we've got a new chairman within the last sort of 12 months, Keith Harris, and 2 new non-execs as well. So it's been a busy year.
Laying down the platform for growth, but
absolutely.
You know, what does success look like? Where do you want this business to go in the longer term?
Yeah, in the longer term, I guess all I've just spoke about, like you just said, is we've been building for growth. And, we're really focused on the high margin reoccurring revenue. That's where we really want to focus. I know we've got the consultancy side, but all of these things are focused on, improving that ARR. How do we do that? Well, we need to go more on the markets in terms of the US market, as we've said, but also there's the European, and we've also entered with Canal the Asian market as well. So we need to push more on the markets, and that's a key focus of ours. Also, in terms of our product, we've been very focused this last year on reliability and getting that correct, getting the UNS, getting the reliability correct. And I think future-wise, we could focus on a wider operational impact. We've been we've been doing some great projects, but I think with the work we've done to scale, with scalability, we can get more of them on quicker. And also looking forward to implementing sort of large language models within the manufacturing data sort of network as well. So, really exciting times, really focus on that high margin recurring revenue.
You listed an Aquis in, I think, was it July
2024?
Yeah,
July 24.
How have you found being listed, and your in particular your experience of the Aquis platform?
Yeah, the experience has been very positive. We've had great access to raise the capital we've needed for the growth that we wanted in a cost-effective manner versus some of the larger markets. We've had very good access to investors like Gresham and Rathbones, GPIM. Good traction with retail investors. I think it really has set a good benchmark for the framework, the governance framework that we've had to put in place. It's gave us a little bit of kudos with our customers, actually. We're talking to different levels of businesses now, not just because of our products and because of the rollouts that we're talking to, but because, we're a PLC, that gives us that little bit of kudos. And obviously, like I say, the access to investors has been really good. So I guess, in summary, Aquis has given us the strength to come out and prove that we are a AI company that has got the right governance to move forward and scale.
Interesting stuff. Keith, many thanks for joining me today, and look forward to following the story over 2026.
Thanks, Dan. Thank you very much.